Greetings to you all God's people. I welcome you all to another episode of our program, The Seekers of the Hidden Truth. Today I want to share with you something that I've been learning about faith, fear, prayer, courage, and the presence of God. This began with an honest examination of my own faith. So I started noticing that my faith seemed to fluctuate depending on the circumstances that I was facing. So as I examined those fluctuations, I discovered something quite uncomfortable but very helpful. So this is what I discovered. I discovered that my level of prayer sometimes revealed my level of fear rather than my level of faith. We often assume that if we are praying more, we are operating in greater faith. But I discovered that it is not always the case. Sometimes an increase in prayer can actually reveal an increase in anxiety. So the important question is not simply how much am I praying, but the deeper question should be, what is motivating my prayer? Am I praying because I trust God, or I'm praying because I'm afraid that if I don't pray enough, God will not be involved? Now, I want you to think about something simple. If I plan to meet a friend in town, we agree on a specific place and a specific time. I don't normally say, I need 3 people to pray for me that my friend will actually be there. I don't fast because I'm going to meet a friend in town. And I don't call pastors and ask them to pray that this will happen. I simply make arrangements. Trust God, trust the person, and go. There is a natural confidence, a natural faith that the agreed plan will happen. But then I noticed something different when the journey became bigger. So when I planned a journey from South Africa to Zimbabwe, something changed inside me. Suddenly, I wanted pastors, I wanted friends, I wanted other people to pray for me before the journey. I wanted prayers during the journey. Look, there was nothing wrong in asking people to pray, but I realized that part of my motivation was not simply that I wanted people to join me in trusting God, but part of it was their prayers would give me additional assurance. I wanted reassurance that God would hear their prayers. I wanted reassurance that the journey would be safe. And I had to ask myself a question: is this faith? Or is this fear seeking reassurance? This question changed the way I think about prayer. So then I started saying to myself, I do not invite God into my short journeys, yet I still have confidence when I make those journeys. And this raised a question: is God's presence activated by the amount of prayers that I offer? No. God was not more present in my journey from Zimbabwe to South Africa because several people prayed for me. No. God was not absent in my ordinary journeys because I did not formally invite Him. No. God does not become present because we have prayed enough. No. He is God. He is already present. This led me to a profound change in the way that I understand prayer. I often thought of prayer as me saying, God, please come into my situation. But I learned that the movement is actually the other way around. God is inviting me into His presence. So I don't have to ask God to come into my situations. All I have to do is to accept His everlasting invitation into His gracious presence. So I stopped saying, God, please come into my journey. And I started saying, God, I know that you are already with me. I acknowledge your presence and I trust you as I take this journey. Prayer is not me trying to persuade God to become involved in my life. But prayer is my response to the God who is already involved. Sometimes it can simply be a heart prayer where you can simply say, Lord, you were with me at sunrise and you will be with me in every step I take today. I acknowledge you are with me, you are in control, and I trust you. We see something similar in David. When David stood before Goliath, he remembered what God had already done for him. He said that the God who had delivered him from the lion and the bear would also deliver him from the Philistine. Notice something. David did not pray for new power for the new problem. David did not seek a new God for the new problem, but he trusted the same God, the same power that delivered him from the lion and the bear. His circumstances changed, but he remembered that God's faithfulness had not changed. That is where faith becomes practical. Because sometimes we think that we need to produce a new level of spirituality for every new situation. So when a problem comes, suddenly we think, I need to pray more. I need more people to pray for me. I need to do something extra because the problem is bigger. It's very important to always remember that the God who was with you yesterday is the God who is with you today. The God who carried you through the last difficulty is the God who is carrying you through this one. And this brings me to courage. I've come to see that courage is not separate from faith. Courage is one of the essential expressions of faith. So faith believes and courage acts on what faith believes. So faith without courage can remain theoretical. I can say I trust God, but courage is what enables me to take the next step when circumstances are uncertain. That is why God said to Joshua, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Notice something. God did not tell Joshua to be courageous because there was no danger. No. God told Joshua to be courageous because there was danger. There were enemies. There was uncertainty. There were battles ahead. And yet God said, be courageous. Courage is not the absence of danger. If there is no danger, there is very little opportunity to demonstrate courage. So courage is moving forward while danger is present because you know who is with you. Fear says, I need more reassurance before moving. Faith says, I know who is with me, so I can move. Fear says, what if something goes wrong? Faith says, even if something goes wrong, God is still God. So fear seeks reassurance before moving. Faith moves because it trusts. Courage takes faith into action. So courage moves even when danger is present. This is why Paul's words in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 are so powerful, where he said, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but he gave us a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline. The Spirit does not necessarily remove every challenging journey, but the Spirit changes the person making the journey. God may not remove every challenge, but surely He will give me the power, He will give me the faith, He will give me the courage to walk through the challenging journey, just like He did with Joshua. Crossing River Jordan was not easy. A brief summary of what I learned from studying all this. I learned that fear seeks reassurance before moving, and I've told myself that I'll never ever allow fear to control my actions, to control my life. I love the understanding that I have about faith, because faith moves because it trusts in God. I also love the understanding that I have about courage, because with courage I can move even in the presence of danger. I also love the understanding that I have that prayer is not about making God present in my life, for God is already present. All I need to do is to accept His everlasting invitation into His gracious presence. God is love. He is there. He will forever be there. And I'm so grateful that I'm understanding things differently, which will make me approach life differently. So thank you for watching. We'll meet again as we explore into the realities of life, connecting to the Word of God. Thank you.